Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do a system sound check. Make sure you guys can hear me. If you guys can hear me, give me some thumbs up. Let me know if you guys are there as I do before we get started. If you guys can hear me on that side, give me a thumbs up on that side. Awesome. Looks like you guys can hear me. Okay, sweet. Perfect. Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about this presentation today. For those people who are watching this, who will be on live, I'm going to say, do me a favor and share this. This is going to be a presentation that's not going to be, it's not going to be, in fact, I'm going to share this really quick in a few of my groups before we get started. So give me a second and bear with me as I share this in a few of my groups. And then we'll get started. But if you can, while I'm doing this, go ahead and get this in front of people, because this is not going to be some network marketing pitch about my company or whatever, or what programs I'm doing. This is just going to be an open, inside look into Bitcoin, the blockchain, why cryptocurrency is and will take over the world and the world system the way we know it. Even if you don't believe that it will, it's going to, and it already is. So, I definitely, again, will encourage every single person to share this, get this out, because I poured my heart this past weekend. I've been actually preparing for this presentation for the last, honestly, the last few months, but I really put it together. And I got to see what people are saying out there about Bitcoin, their, people's opinions and what they think. And now I'm going to really give you guys the vision of what Bitcoin, what cryptocurrency, what the blockchain, what it's all about, and the future direction of our history, the shaping of our directional of our history. So give me 1 second before we get started. I'm just sharing it in one more little group. Hold on a second. I'm going to share this on my other wall, on my fan page, and we are done. Hold on a second here. All right. So, let's get started, guys. The blockchain, as you guys can see here, the unstoppable blockchain. Share this presentation with any person that is a skeptic of the blockchain. And so get this out in front of them. I think that this is really going to open up a lot of people's eyes, help them understand why when I say the blockchain or Bitcoin, why our economy is moving into an autonomous economy. It's moving right before your eyes. Just most of us are not paying attention to it. So without further ado, let's get into it. And let me break down the Bitcoin, the unstoppable, unbreakable Bitcoin and blockchain system. I'm excited, guys. I don't know about you, but this is a exciting presentation, and I'm ready for it. So let's talk about this for a second. We first have to go back into history. When it comes to understanding Bitcoin, we have to go back to how everything was first started. Whatever and however you view human history and the evolution of human history, one thing is that's a fact, is that the evolution state of the evolution history is that we are in changing times, and we as a human race have always built things, and we've always replaced it with newer or advanced technology. That's pretty common sense. So in the chart you guys see here, just to give you guys a inside look, just looking at human history from, want to call it a beginning phase or a beginning state, we know that we're not living today in medieval times. We are living in what we would call the digital day and age. So, the systems that were used 1,000 years ago, or even 100 years ago, the primitive systems we don't use if not at all, to current day. That's pretty common sense. So in establishing the case that I'm establishing right now from the natural progression of human history, we all know that man has created certain things, whatever it is, to advance man's abilities from advancements, as we see it from the hunter stage to grower to warrior to craftsman, explorer. And as we started to get more advanced in our trade abilities in the 1500s, from merchant to merchandisers, and then getting into the industrial age, and then in the early 1900s, the oil phase, and then the corporate phase, and ultimately to where we are at today. We are at what I call the entrepreneur digital age, the digital age of entrepreneur. The same practices that were, or the practices that were done 100, 200, 1,000 years ago was not or is not the same practices we do now. So now we understand, and as I established the basis of human progression, and that we are not using the same human system. We're not using the same monetary system we used in the 1500s, are we? You know, we may be using, I should say, the gold standard, where we would trade gold or gold coins back in hundreds of years ago. That same standard is no longer in existence in the way that we operate our business, even current day, without cryptocurrency. So now the question is cryptocurrency is the next common sense factor, and we are already in what we would call virtually a cashless society. So let's go on in this progression, and let's talk about the blockchain as a whole. What is the blockchain? So, you know, some of you guys, if you're new, if you just heard, you guys probably, if you're new to this, you may have never heard of cryptocurrency, or you probably have only heard of Bitcoin. And understand that Bitcoin is only currency that is exchanged through the funneling process in a secure network of the blockchain system. So I'm going to give you guys a little look of how the blockchain works. The blockchain is in which the currency transmits and passes through. We know that in our online internet phase now, that people can intercept transactions. Hackers can steal bank accounts. People can take money from safe, secure electronic networks. In fact, I was reading an article just the other day, and some Russian hackers hacked into the central bank of Russia, and they stole more than $31 million in that system that was breakable. Now, the blockchain technology, helping you to understand, is an unbreakable and an unhackable system that nobody can hack. No person can actually hack, and it breaks and it sets a basis of the first true secure electronic network. So with that being established, as you can see the process, so when I want to send money, as you see from the process, from exhibit A to B, here's the process that happens from step 2. The transaction is then represented, and because what the blockchain essentially is a ledger system. See, I worked in the banking system for more than 10 years. And in the banking system, humans, tellers, bankers, and admins, no matter how smart or brilliant we are, human error will always come into conclusion and cause us to have some kind of error. I can tell you, there's a number of times that I was imbalanced in my drawer when I was a teller, or on the banking side, that things didn't balance out right, and so because of human error development. Well, the ledger system of the blockchain is impenetrable and 100% accurate of tracking information and filing it. So when that is filed, when a transaction, and there's millions of transactions that are happening electronically, a minute, a second, an hour, what happens in the next phase is our transaction is then built into what building into what they call a block. And it's a block, I think, is every 2 or 5 minutes or so, a new block of information is filed and stored and given a significant ID code. So when I send money, it is giving a significant identification print. No different than when I send money through a bank. But in the banking institution, what happens is you're sending it and it goes through the ACH, which is the automated clearinghouse. The government tracks and the banking system tracks for it to go to one bank to the other. So the block is broadcasted. The ledger, as soon as you make a send or receive money, that information is broadcasted in step 3 to all the ledgers or mining machines or mining computes worldwide, and the world is tracking electronically the ledger real time. Step 4, that process and network, they then approve it, that's what you call the mining process. So for you people out there who are like, well, what's mining? The mining process, you have the blockchain, and what a mining process is massive computers and software that is breaking the code on making sure exhibit A gets to exhibit B. And when that process happens, whatever computer software finds that, it is then rewarded with a hash, a piece of a hash, or you would call a Satoshi, and given, and that is a part, this, you know it, a piece of a Bitcoin. It is rewarded with a Bitcoin for figuring, or a piece of a Bitcoin for rewarding, or whatever coin that information is transmitting for whatever transaction, if it's a Bitcoin or an Ethereum or likewise. From when all that process happens, it's then received to the other party. And this is done within minutes. This is done within seconds, or this can be done sometimes within hours, but this is done all autonomously and electronically without the functionality of human intervention. Basically, in a nutshell, the blockchain has no human intervention that needs to be, such as in the banking institute, to record, ledger, and properly file when a transaction's sent, and the process to when it gets to the mining and verified for the miners to get rewarded, and then thus for the other side to receive the funds. So if I send millions of dollars to you guys, or $100, in that process, that money electronically is going from party A to B and through this whole process, as you see here. So now I'm going to go to the next slide. And now that you understand the blockchain, guys, understand this. We as human beings are on a conveyor belt of time. And a conveyor belt of time, as you guys seen in the charts prior, no matter what you say or do, we are moving and escalating towards a different future than we know today. The future that our parents and that our parents' parents and that our great-great-great-parents, grandparents lived is not the same future because of simply technology. Technology has opened the door, and now we are moving from cash to a true cashless society. And as I said, as human history goes, we are on a conveyor belt moving forward, and as a process. Let me give you a classic example of current day corporate America, of how we are evolving and how corporate America is evolving just within 10, 15, and 20 years ago. How many of you guys remember this? Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. The classic story of Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. We know, everybody should know this that's watching this, that Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, they at the time were the prime of their time. People, we remember the times that you used to go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video and you would rent your video, or it would be out. Remember that, where the video would be, you wanted a certain video and it was out. It made you frustrated because you knew on every Tuesday or every Thursday when they got new videos, you wanted to get there because you knew that everybody and their mother after work was going to grab a video. Well, those were the times then. That was the times because as we are evolving continually. Blockbuster, if you didn't know the story, had a chance to actually buy Redbox, and they laughed at that offer at the time. What they did not understand, as we know from history, that Blockbuster, remember, does Blockbuster, they do exist privately and in the hands of a few owners scattered around the country. They're virtually gone. They are virtually, if not disappeared, and no longer in existence because of one technology shift, or should say many technology shifts. I'm just painting a picture here, and hopefully you guys are following me, to understand the process of human development, that we are moving to an autonomous economy, whether you understand it or not. And this is my fear for you guys, that I want and I need you guys to understand this. See, Redbox put, when it started to hit the scenes and you started to see, as McDonald's, I believe, invested in it, and as you started to see red boxes show up in front of McDonald's and grocery stores, and then people started to get retrained to learn how to buy from Redbox when they go to the store and they see the red box out. How many of you remember that? And then from the comfort of your own home, Netflix came out. Netflix took that they put the nail in the coffin for Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. No longer would you have to track yourself out and go the distance. You can, from the simple World Wide Web and the development of technology as we have advanced in internet-based, the Netflix and Amazon Prime of the new was born. And as I can show you here, from the comfort of our home to current day, we can simply watch as many movies and as many things as we possibly can. So the case that I'm building right now before the human race right now, is undeniable that we are, as a human race, black, white, no matter what color, Asian, Mexican, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. We are moving to a different evolution of how we do things, and we are doing it at a faster rate than ever before. Would you agree with that? Human history is moving. So again, Netflix, with the comfort of home, we can watch. Now let's take the next phase and look at a next company amongst thousands of companies that had been replaced and had been weeded out because of the process of human development and technological change, and that is Uber and Lyft. I can get in my car right now as a Uber driver and drive a total stranger, and I can make a profit from that person and do that with Lyft. And check this out. That, because of the power of Uber and Lyft, it totally broke up and decentralized the whole process of the cab industry. The taxi and cab industry, because of super technology and application-based technology, replaced the old standard of way we drive. And this is just in current day, as we all understand. How many of you guys are getting enjoyment from this? Give me some thumbs up and let me know, even if you're new, I'm trying to build a case to help you understand the evolution to where we're going and why Bitcoin and the blockchain and cryptocurrency makes sense, and why you are going to miss out on the next evolutionary financial shift and the deregulation of the economy being distributed around the world like never before seen in human history. This is a defining moment that you guys are looking at right before your eyes. So let me continue on, guys. Right now, we could get in an Uber cab. Let's go further into this. Let's dig deeper. You guys are seeing the trend that I'm building. How many of you guys see the trend that I'm building and the picture that I'm painting for you to help you make sense in a color book style of why we are moving to an autonomous economy, an electronic economy, and a cashless-based society, that it makes sense why cryptocurrency, a digital-based money, is the digital base in the future of where we're headed. Airbnb disrupted the hotel community where you can now rent out space. Now, those, you can now take and put it on the Airbnb. If you have rented houses, you can, or homes, you can rent your house out and put it on the Airbnb network. You guys are you getting this? This is an application, electronic-based software. I can now not only drive in somebody's car and meet somebody that I never would have met because of Uber, because it decentralized things, but now I can stay 100% in somebody's house. You guys, are you getting where I'm going with this? Listen to this. I can literally drive in somebody else's car, have somebody else take me around the whole city of Houston, or go fly to a different city and have somebody that I don't know turn on an Uber or a Lyft app and have them drive me anywhere I need to go. They make a profit. Then I can have an already set up Airbnb place for me to stay and literally travel with no, that old saying, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he died, you guys know what I'm saying. So Airbnb has on this side has disrupted. So let's move on. See, we all have cell phones. We all have smartphones. We all have smartphones, right? And smartphones have made our lives virtually every single thing that you and I do on our smartphones. I mean, we almost they say there's an app for that. There is an app for a lot of things. There's an app to find love or some hookup and some ass. Excuse my French. I should have kept it a little more cleaner. Let's just be real. There's an app to get food and have it delivered to your house. There's an app to find a geographic location. There's an app for a lot of different things, as you guys can see. It's pretty common. So as you guys can see, as I'm building toward cash society, here's something you guys are not seeing. McDonald's has officially launched aggressively in a counterattack to the raise of $15 an hour across the country for McDonald's workers. They have replied back with an experiment they've been working on, and that is an autonomous McDonald's. You guys see it right before your eyes. Are you getting where I'm leading to? I'm building this painted tapestry of this picture where we're going. If you can't see this vision with me, you are going to get left in the dark. And that's not me threatening. That we are at a pivotal time in our human history. We are in an autonomous state and an autonomous shift. I can go now and you're going to see this more and more. I can go now to a McDonald's, and the more these machines will start to pop up, I can literally order a McDonald's burger and fries and have it delivered and made for me almost. There's still human intervention in there somewhere, but almost, and it will get more and more to the point. Virtually, computers and autonomous systems are replacing, I'm going to just say it this way, people that work at McDonald's are not safe anymore. Remember when we say, oh, just get a job at McDonald's? Not to mention the fight against inflation on your American dollar is dead virtually. Are you getting where I'm going? Let me know. Throw some thumbs up and let me know where I'm going. If you guys really follow where I'm building towards. All right. So to the next side, you guys see the case that I'm building. Tesla, one of my greatest aspiring people that I enjoy and love, Elon Musk, the creator of PayPal and Tesla, and also Solar World, and he designed this car, as you see, or his company and team designed this car. And this particular Tesla model that you see right before you is 100% autonomous. I want to repeat that again, and I'm going to rephrase. This is a car that's 100% autonomous, and it can drive itself. This is scary, guys. This is scary. Let's do a recap. Let's do a recap here for everything I just showed you. If you haven't got the picture yet of where the future is going, and you can say, "Oh no, Jairus, no, you're wrong. I don't believe in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. It's not real. You know, it's one of those network marketing scams." Well, let's go back really quickly, because human progression and man is always striving to advance themselves technologically. It's the human intervention or human's genetic spirit within our beings to create and move forward as we are designed to do. All right. So this car can drive yourself. Not to make. So listen here. I can go. I'm going to make this a joke, but I can literally get a Uber ride, and pretty soon I'll get an electronic Uber ride, because Uber is working with Tesla and many other companies. And I just actually read an article. Where BMW, NASA, and Chrysler, I believe, and a few other companies are working with NASA to build the next generation of autonomous driving cars. This is scary, guys. Guys, what I'm painting for you, you can call it prophetic, but it's actually in front of you. It's real time, and this is living in front of you. But some of you choose to close your eyes and live in the past, or live right now, not thinking for the future. But the future is going to come whether you say no or yes. And I say yes to the future. So let's carry on and let's look. Let's take a back look back. Let's go back a little bit, and let's now look at the value of the United States, or the American dollar, and the buying power, or the not so much buying power, that the American dollar has. So let's take a look at it. Back in 1913, the Federal Reserve, and I'm going to sneak this in when I say this, not even a sneak, the Federal Reserve snuck their dirty ass hands into a Congress bill during December, when the Congress should have been in recess. And in that bill that none of those dudes read was stated, and it was designed for the Federal Reserve, which is basically the central bank of the world, to actually enact. We can go on a conspiracy hunt and talk left and right, which we're not going to do. But at the end of the day, 1913, and you guys know in American history, at that time, we were virtually debt-free as America as a corporation, but as a country, America corporation country, we were literally virtually debt-free right there. I think we were exiting World War I, and we were marching into Hitler and World War II. Not much longer, not too longer after that, 15 plus years after this. So let's look at the decline. FDR made an executive order making it illegal to hold gold coin and bullion certificates. So he outlawed that, as you guys can see, the downward trend, because now that the Federal Reserve was created, they were just printing money. They were just printing and printing and printing money. And let's continue to look on, and all the way down to Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon, he got us off what we call the gold standard. Now, all the way down to, let's put it in current present day. You guys know, while you are holding on to your dollar, and you are holding on and believing that dollar, I don't care if you got $1 million in your bank account right now. Listen to this. I don't care if you have $1 million in your bank account and you're pointing over at me and you're saying you're a part of a scam called Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, the blockchain. I don't believe in it. But while you're saying that, the exact same time, your buying power is dying and it's not increasing. Russia, China, and other countries recently just said, forget you, America. Let me just set this up. United States has what we call a sanction power. We can sanction a country because we are using the American dollar or the petrodollar. And you Forex traders understand what I mean by this, that the petrodollar, the Russian government, Vladimir Putin, just recently, literally last week, flipped the bird and said, when we put sanctions on him last week, and he said, I don't need the American dollar. We're dumping it and we're moving to Ethereum and cryptocurrency completely. Do you know right now Russia is fervently becoming, and their goal is to become the most producing country of mining and cryptocurrency in the world. And they are very smart for doing it. And I'm not praising them for it. So you understand that. Let me continue on. We saw the charts from cryptocurrency, or from the fiat money system. But now let's look at this chart over just the birth and the rise of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency, thus through the blockchain. You can see based on the chart, and this is Bitcoin, that Bitcoin, since its conception from its creator, when Satoshi Nakamoto, which we don't know if it's an individual or it's a group, more likely it was probably a group of people from what we understand, but they created and they tested, and this was built. Understand, the blockchain and cryptocurrency wasn't just dreamed up overnight. It was actually developed. It was developed over years of time. 2009, the first Bitcoins hit the market, and they started from zero. Just look at this. Though at this point in time in 2009, the poorest person in the country, a homeless person, could have took $100 if they understood the value of a Bitcoin at the time. And $100, if you would have bought then to now, they would be worth, if you had bought with just $100, you would, that a homeless, you, me, if we had $100 worth only, we would be worth almost $70 million. This is powerful when you understand it. So as you guys see the de-escalation of the United States dollar, you're seeing on the other spectrum, while you naysayers are going, Bitcoin's a scam, the charts are proving you wrong. So while you hold your gripping hands on a decaying fiat dollar that has no loyalty and is fading away in the federal government, and this is a prediction that is true, so it's not so much a prediction, is gearing to get rid of it and the move to the federal coin themselves. All my Amazon sellers out there, you'll know what I'm talking about here. Check this out. My Amazon sellers, you'll know that Amazon is working right now to move to an Ethereum Litecoin payment system. Let me educate you guys. I'm going to educate you guys on this real quick. While many people say, well, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you can't use it anywhere. You can't. Well, that's not necessarily true. Let's take a look here for a second, and let's look at this chart that you guys see here. This chart you see before you, this is just a few of the companies currently that have and are receiving payments and will take on payments through cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, as you guys can see right now. These are just a few of the companies that are taking a crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and this is just the beginning. This is, I mean, again, there's way more companies than what's listed here, but this is just a few to help you understand that I can go to them right now and I could pay. Some of you guys have probably walked and saw a Subway or a store, and I know you've probably seen an ATM. And in fact, I'm in Houston, and Houston, I believe, had received the first Bitcoin ATM, I think, in the country. Well, I'm going to go ahead and brush my shoulders on that one. Not due to me, though, of course. I'm just joking there. Now, I want you guys to see this picture here. This picture is almost, it's literally prophetic. It's prophetic here. And I'm going to take a little squig of water, and I want you guys to sit and marinate on this picture for 2 seconds while I drink this water to get myself refreshed. Okay. So this picture that you guys see right here, this picture here is extremely important. I want you guys to understand this picture. This picture was created in 1964. It's documented. This is actually, believe me or not, this image was created in 1964. What does it say to you? What does this image say to you? Let me break it down because it's pretty obvious. But on one side of the spectrum, you see what we call a centralized banking system as we know it. That the main world systems that we know it, that are running the world, that are moving the central bank of the world, that controls everything, that is making money every minute of every hour, of every second and of every day, of every year and every month. There is not 1 minute that the banking, that the central bank doesn't make money. Not 1 second, 1 minute that millions and billions and trillions of dollars are transacted worldwide through all e-commerce or any commerce-based network. On the other hand, we have what you would see as a digital key and a dispersed picture, and that is a picture representing decentralization. I want you guys to understand what's happening here. What is happening here? See, Bitcoin is all about what we, the people, put value in. So let's talk about here. I've already painted a huge and a humongous, beautiful picture of the autonomous economy. We're moving to an autonomous economy that we're moving towards. See, with cryptocurrency, it's about, as I told you, the blockchain is the most secure network out there. It holds, no matter what government program next to it or any other program next to it, it holds the most secure network for making transactions and not being able to be intercepted or taken. So I want you guys to see this. It provides privacy. It provides decentralization and cryptography. Cryptography was actually something that's not new. Cryptography was designed during World War II on the Isles of Japan. You guys probably seen the story of I believe I'm maybe saying this wrong, but I think it was the Tomahawk Indians. Well, certain Indian groups that they recruited, but the cryptography of breaking and encrypting certain codes, the Torah. You guys, I love history, by the way. So, I mean, I'm not the best history buff, but I love history, good and bad, because there's something to learn from it. Let's continue on, guys. When you understand the cryptocurrency and how it's designed, how the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the cryptocurrencies are transmitted. This is we're talking about the removal of the banking system as a whole. So the blockchain provides an electronic and autonomous, it plays the part in this, as far as in the sector of finance, as the middleman, and verifying that is the public ledger around the world, which you would call the blockchain ledger, thus going through the approval of the miners to verify one transaction to another. So this is a perfect picture. One person I don't have to trust you. You don't have to trust me. But here's what happens, that I can send a payment across the world. Let me paint you guys a huge picture right now. Thank you. Thank you, Ramon. Wind Talkers. The Wind Talkers. Thank you, brother. Wind Talkers, which is considered a wet weapon. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I didn't look until the last minute. But I'm going to paint you guys a picture right now on continuing this. What's going to push and drive us to this autonomous economy is Amazon, on all these bigger companies. If you know anything about banking, and I can tell you, owning a business, merchant services is very expensive. So you see the fees here. I can transmit hundreds, if not millions of dollars, and the fee is ridiculously low. You see that 0.1% to 0.5%. That's nothing, because I could tell you wiring like $100,000 would cost in the wire. It costs about almost maybe $1,500 to potentially $2,000. It depends on the bank fees that they charge. And not to mention on the other end, the receiving end, the bank, that your bank can charge you for receiving of funds. Then you're forced to wait, even if it's done that day, but it's done, and it's a ridiculous, clunky ass process. Would you agree? It's a process that's clunky, when it would be so great to just like watching Netflix from the comfort of your own home, transmit your money. And that you know what it does is, that person that owes you money, man, you owe me $25. It's like, man, I don't get paid till next week. It's like, oh, that's okay. As soon as you get paid, you can send it immediately through my Bitcoin wallet. Oh, you ain't got no excuse. So just watch out for that, guys. When you guys are sitting at when you guys are playing who pays the bill, just know that when you owe somebody money, Your money is available immediately, and you can send that money and they can get it immediately. No excuses whatsoever. Guys, companies are moving to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for this reason, because the technology saves them money on merchant fees. They don't have to pay some heavy merchant fees. Okay. They don't have to pay merchant fees. Now they don't have to pay big hellacious bank fees. So if you're Amazon, let's say Amazon, and I don't know how much they do a month, but let's say they're doing hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions. Let's say they're doing $50 million in bank fees alone. But they go to cryptocurrency. And why? And they go to cryptocurrency. And why? Why would they not move to this? Because here's what they save. They save this. They save money from the fees from banks. They save money from bank fees from the merchants, and they save money for all around. And the money is automatic, and they control it. And not to mention, if it's an Ethereum payment or a Bitcoin, and the product is whatever payment, and they make the payment, and Bitcoin is going up, as soon as I send them whatever the fee for that product is, and Bitcoin goes up, that piece of the Bitcoin I paid with, it goes up. So they made more money. So think about it for a second on a corporate level. Why wouldn't they want to go? So I'm going to show you guys in this next chart. This is going to explain this more. See, typically when it comes to technology, like the internet, and no, Al Gore did not create the World Wide Web. But let's take technology. Typically, the military, as we understand, are like years, 70, 100, could be even 300 years, probably even ahead of us in technology. But typically, technology bleeds. If it's tech, can bleed from the military, and then it gets in. A lot of times, gets into the hands of the syndicate or the criminal syndicate. And Bitcoin, when its conceptions was beginning, Bitcoin had got a bad name. Or people were saying, well, people can cartels and drug dealers can send money through Bitcoin and the dark web. Well, let me just give you some education. There is more fraud, and there's more fraud, and there is more theft, and there's more criminal and cartel and drug cartel activity through cash in the American dollar than there is Bitcoin. I can guarantee you that on a bad day. Now we're coming out of this phase here, what we call the early adopter phase. And now the phase that we're moving, here's where I'm afraid for every single person, please pay attention. And hopefully I'm building a better case for you to understand where we're moving to. Cryptocurrency is logical for a business to take. I've already just told you, it's logical for a company to move to cryptocurrency because they don't have to pay tax. They can avoid it. They can evade it. They can evade the tax situation. They can evade the merchant situation. They can evade a lot of things and make a lot of money. I can tell you as a business owner, I would have made so much more money if I didn't have to pay so much more in taxes. I'm not trying to shoot taxes because they still have to pay because they have to pay capital gains, et cetera, big companies. But through the blockchain, guys, it's an uncontrolled network. Absolutely. So I'm going to continue to go through. See, guys, let's go quickly back again. Your American dollar once used to be backed up again by gold. But take a look at the old system of trade that we used to go by. See, back in the old days when we were starting to go on gold trade, when the Greeks, Romans, and the known worlds, the Egyptian cultures, when they were trading, not just through barter, but they were trading on a signet imprint of the king, emperor, or the pharaoh, the whatever coin that it was traded on, it can be, they would nick, over time, crooks, criminals would nick pieces of their own money because it was gold. So it had value, and they would then create more gold. They would build up a coin. So what that would create in the old days was more counterfeit. See, here's what you guys have to understand is your cash is easy to become counterfeit. It's a clunky system that's counterfeit, and it's clunky, It doesn't make sense. How many of you guys would want to drive in your car with $50 million just driving around? Of course you would. You would say, yeah, heck yeah. No, you wouldn't, because you couldn't fit all that money in, and you would probably get robbed and killed even if you just step foot. You would have to have hired security to do that. It doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense to tote around a ton of cash. See, the old system is clunky. I mean, see, here, the picture here, you see, this is fool's gold. The one on the right, I believe the one on the right is gold. The other one on the left is fool's gold. Or maybe I'm fooled. Either way, it's an old clunky system. It's a system exactly that's designed where it's easy to be counterfeit. See, back in the day when we were on the gold standard back in the days, if you go back in the early 1900s, before we were taken off in 1971, the gold standard, the bank would have gold, as you would call Fort Knox. Fort Knox ain't got no gold, but Fort Knox supposedly, or the bank would have the gold to back up that gold, that note. That's why you see here on this picture, the picture has a gold looking medallion print representing this dollar. As you guys can read, this dollar, United States of American $50 bill, payable to the I can't even read that, the payer or receiver on demand, and at the top you see gold certificate. So this $50 represented a $50 worth of gold for the bankers that were holding that. Now the next picture I'm going to show you is our current United States $100 bill, and if you ask me personally, Benjamin Franklin looks pretty upset to be on that damn bill right now. He looks pretty dang disgruntled. Our current dollar bill is backed by the American government. And I'm going to say it again, if you have never seen the old school movie, and I grew up on and I was raised on it, and that was Mo Money, Mo Money, Mo Money, Mo Money. The federal government is backing this dollar bill. Now, there's a damn problem right there. That means that the federal government, there ain't no damn value in this money. The only value that's in this money, while you patriotic, and I'm not trying to be biased or political here, but America, great America. Let me tell you this, you're great America. It ain't worth because the dollar ain't worth nothing. Hell, Benjamin wants off of that damn thing, and he wants to get into some cryptocurrency. Your $100 bill is only backed by our military. It's only backed by the military. So when it's government backed, yeah, hey, you want to go to war? You want to fight? Because all these other countries are saying, we're dumping the dollar. They're dumping it. So let's take some, and we're almost so close here. Let's take a look at some cryptocurrencies. Some cryptocurrencies that you guys see here. The cryptocurrency state that you guys see right here, right now, they just represent a few of the cryptocurrencies. The Bitcoin symbol, the Ethereum, Litecoin, Monero, Dashcoin. Guys, this is just a few of the cryptocurrencies. You guys get it now. Cryptocurrencies work just the same as any as our United States currency. It ain't backed by nothing. Well, what's cryptocurrency backed by? How can I trust it? How can I trust your cryptocurrency? Well, here's how you can trust it. For one, it runs through the blockchain trusted network, cannot be hacked. And two, the community trusts it. That's why the value goes and grows and grows and grows and grows. It's very powerful. Again, with the cryptocurrency asset base, it really achieves a lot of things. It achieves, because of the blockchain secure network, a double hedge of protection. A true double hedge of protection, and relieves the human error element of tracking and ledgering, because the blockchain as a whole is designed as a ledger-based tracking recorded technical system that cannot be hacked. It also is autonomous. So you remove the banking system. If you ever heard that there was ever a hack situation, it would only be on the wallet level, like a company like Coinbase or Uphold or etc. It provides privacy from both parties. It's none of the government's business or anybody's business that I'm giving you $10 or $10,000. That's my business that I handed you. That's my transaction. Not to get too political or go back in history, why did the United States government fight against the English government to be free? Free from what? One thing only, from taxes. Taxes was a voluntary situation that they eventually, because of the corporate status of how the United States is registered, truly not a country, but a corporation, that it is designed, they put the impression and the impending pressure that we have to pay taxes. Now, I'm not going to I'm not trying to get something in your head there. I'm just telling you guys, do your research. Anyways, point I'm saying here, guys, is this, is that now we're dealing with a privatized situation. Let's continue on and bashing the banking system as we understand and know it, because I came from the banking system and worked in the banking system for a number of years, for more than 10 years, as you guys understand. And in the process, the seller's accounts, there's a lot of things that can happen. Let's take a look at the happy faces, as you guys can see, the emotions. Wire gets to wire, but now there's fee. Everybody's, you can say they're happy, but they're not. The seller sends something in confidence to the seller. The buyer sends to the seller, and the buyer's happy. And in Bitcoin, it's actually vice versa. But you guys see here at the bottom, technically on the wire situation, somebody's actually disgruntled, because when I send you money, if I'm wiring you money, I lose out on money because I have to pay the fee. I'm paying the fee. See, this banking system that we know it and we trust now, well, I trust my money in the banking system. Your banking system is technically, it's flawed. I worked in the banking system. Now, check this out, guys. Check this out. Working in the banking system for 10 plus years. If every person in the country ran to the bank right now and said, I want my money out of the bank, the federal government would put a stop right now. They would seize the bank operation. I should say, not the federal government, but the Federal Reserve, which is really a cloak to the world centralized bank. They would put a freeze on the whole, because your money goes into the California La Tara de Brea pit and disappears in the sea of nothingness. I'm going to continue on, and hopefully you guys are with me. Hopefully I'm building a good case. If I was a lawyer, hopefully that I'm presenting a case to the universal world and helping you to understand. You guys now should get why I'm excited. I'm not excited just about Bitcoin. I'm excited about the shift, and that how we can partake in the shift and put our hand in the stream of this decentralized soon to be system and make gobs of money as everybody can win in this conclusion. Hopefully you guys are with me. Hopefully you guys this is making sense. So in this scenario, let's take a look at the unbanked situation, okay? Let's take a look at the unbanked situation. Worldwide, in the United States, there's about 9 million people on rough average that are unbanked, that haven't been banked. And I'm saying this as a former banker, that are not banked, that have either they're on check systems, they can't get it banked, a second chance banking. That's a lot of Americans that have to go through third-party alternatives such as MoneyGram or check cashing places that charge astronomical fees. Now let's even speed it up and go worldwide. And the world government, or the worldwide government, more than 2 billion people don't have access to banking situations. My good friend Brandon Ivy, he stated it best this way. He said that, and I believe it was in Nigeria. In Nigeria, for them to send money, let's take $30. By the time that money gets to the Nigerian bank and they get their cut, they're getting only $5 of the fee, and the Nigerian government is getting the bulk of it. So it almost forces you not to want to do business if you're in a country like that. But in a situation like this, with the blockchain and cryptocurrency, let me be graphic for 2 seconds, and I apologize. I can send $1 million to a dude who's scratching his butt in a cave in any country, any third world country, or a dude that is sitting in a hut. I can send him, for some odd reason, he can have a cell phone with internet. I can send him to his blockchain or his blockchain wallet, whatever wallet he has. I can send my Bitcoin or whatever finite money to his wallet, and now he has whatever I sent him without bank intervention. If I had to send that money through banks, so what you have here, guys, let me set the story even more. As corporations start to take on cryptocurrency, which they're doing now, to save on taxes, to save on merchant fees, to save on bank fees. And they will be the bigger pushes over the next few years in integrating Ethereum with smart contract technology that make sure that both parties are taken care of all autonomously, to make sure that you and I, that all of that is done. All of this is building. Human history is building to the informational age. Are you getting it? Cryptocurrency is not something that was made up overnight. It was dreamed up. It was designed by human development and human growth. And now here's the kicker, is that the banking institutions are admitting they're scared. Here's my prediction for the future. The smaller banks will go out of business in the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years. This is my prediction. I'm going to literally almost prophesy here. Over the next 5 years, companies like Amazon, Overstock, your big companies, Nike, they're going to be the conditioners to the American people, and they're going to push us more and more to take on and use the electronic payments of cryptocurrency as a payment because it saves them money. Then as society grows, that's why, let me help you understand why Bitcoin is growing and going up. The more people move and the more companies that move to Bitcoin, it grows. So you understand now why? When you move to that, now to continue on to my prediction is that in the next 10 years, bigger banks will begin to scale back and smaller banks will begin to migrate and either get bought up by big banks and get sucked into, and they will become, the bigger banks will then lean out and start to really build out the presence of their Bitcoin or cryptocurrency ATM. They themselves will save money as a bigger company, and they will be in the business of fees of getting cryptocurrency when you get your currency out. That's my prediction of the future in the banking institution. Now listen to this. With the 2 million unbanked around the world because of the blockchain technology, guys, we are looking at the first time in history, third world countries being able to be liberated without government telling you can't, or centralized banks holding and containing other countries and peoples and colors and nations in bondage financially. Now we have the chance to break free of these third world countries, for them now to enter into the market and buy and participate in cryptocurrency, which is going to rise the value. So now you understand and see why Bitcoin will continually grow and one coin will be worth more than $1 million per coin. Are you understanding where I'm speaking out of passion and love for you guys? This is huge. I'm speaking out of complete foresight of the future and advancement of where we are going as a human race, technologically. This is common sense to me. Wake up, people. United States, if the government won't wake you up, wake up and understand the shift of where we're going. I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry that I'm conveying passion, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Let me show you guys the inside. I'm giving you financial education at its finest. With the cryptocurrency development, as you guys can see how easy it is and being able to access this cryptocurrency. See, mobile, you can access it mobilely, desktop, hardware, the Tether, which is the most secure, one of the most secure ways to secure your cryptocurrency coins and online presence. I'm going to stop. We're almost finished here, guys. To set up a cryptocurrency wallet, you get your wallet, you get some Bitcoin. You can go to how you get it. Again, get a wallet, get some Bitcoins. Local market. You can go to Bitcoin ATM right now, and there's many of them probably in all metropolitan cities and growing. Online exchanges, you can buy them through like Bittrex.com. Gemini, etc., and on and on and on. You guys, I'm gonna, as I come to a close here, this is almost like I'm at an altar call. I feel like I'm at an altar call, but I'm not. Hey, I'm not gonna get too more preachy for you guys. And this is really just a big vision. I'm not sales pitching you guys. anybody that's watching this, what I want you guys to see is stop saying Bitcoin's a scam. Because while you call Bitcoin a scam, the dollar you have in your pocket is the biggest scam in human history. It ain't got no value, no more than the crap paper that you wipe your ass with. But you call Bitcoin a scam. We are moving to the next phase of human history. And I want you to live. We have a chance, guys. We have a chance. We have a chance to put our hand in the pipe. Here's why. Let me leave you with this. I'm going to give you big vision before I go. Let me give you guys big vision before I go, please. And we're done here. Give me a few minutes to give you big vision. And this is where I conclude my story. And hopefully you guys like what I've said so far and grab the hold of this. Right now, when I say we're at the ground floor of cryptocurrency, we missed the first 8 years. And really the last 2 years is where Bitcoin really trajected. We are getting ready, as my good and my best friend, Brandon Ivy, I call him my bigger brother. And we always have this talk. And we believe we have about another 7 to 8 months before we see a huge shift. And it's not just us. One of the world's most recognized financial economic people predicted, and he's been right about most economic downturns and shifts of human history. He stated that the federal government, for one, is working on the Fed coin. Two, that we're going to see a big shift in economic change. I just showed you in this whole case, I build you that we are moving to an electronic and an autonomous economy. So no matter what you say, Bitcoin's a scam, Bitcoin is about electronic and autonomous. As we are already moving to electronic autonomous, companies are going to take on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because it's cheaper. It makes sense. When it makes sense, it's going to. So now you have an unbanked world, decentralized bank situation, and more people have access to the banking financial world than ever before. We are at a pivotal time in history, folks, where you can buy right now. One Ethereum coin is worth $300. See, let me give you another insight. I keep saying this story and I'll say it again. My friend Tom McCurran told me at the beginning of this year to buy Ethereum. I didn't listen. $20,000, he said, put into it. They were $11 a piece at the time. I could have bought, it would have been about 2,000 coins with the 20 grand I would have been able to buy. Right now, they're sitting at $300 a coin. I would have made nearly $800,000 within 6 to 8 months of it just sitting like it would be sitting in a bank account. See, cryptocurrency, because more and more people are putting their money into it. So right now, while the stock market's crashing, Bitcoin is not even being shaken, and it's only but growing. It's not even disturbed by the market. We are at a pivotal time. So I encourage you and I plead with you, whoever and whatever person you are, look and do your own investigation, but don't speak about cryptocurrency in your ignorance. Because when you say Bitcoin's a scam, I will look at you with the thousands, hell, the millions behind me, and we will look at you that supported Bitcoin to why it's at the biggest, most lucrative asset investment in human history. And we will stand at arms high in the fist and say, try us. Try us. Because our money can buy, our money can grow. Our money's growing daily without us doing anything, while your fiat money is dying and is not even purchasable, and it's got nothing. It's got almost but no value to it. The only thing you can do is put your money into a asset base such as cryptocurrency to get it to a higher valuation. Guys, I am done. I hope you had a nice night. This is Jairus Coleman signing out. My goal for you is one thing, is a participate in this well and to live, as you see here in my picture, to live your life. We have an opportunity to live our life limitlessly. The world is at your fingertips. $100 of a Bitcoin today, even at the price it's at right now, can literally be worth $100,000 5 and 10 years from now. Wake up. Wake up. Bitcoin and Ethereum is $300 a coin, and it's going to be at 10,000 and 100,000 and $1 million. As you guys have already painted the picture, wake up and stop doubting. You're making yourself broke because you're doubting. You're literally an iceberg melting while you're the one that looks stupid. The joke's on you, not me. I'm making money while you're talking bad about me. You can throw happy, sad faces, say Jairus is a dick. I can care less. I put my hand in the well and I'm gone. Who's with me? That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, blessings. Share this video and get it in front of as many. I'm going to just say this for all the people that watch this. Please share this video. There is no marketing in this. There's no opportunity. This is a passion of mine. Cryptocurrency is my gospel. It is my gospel. I am preaching this because it's going to literally make either people are going to be standby and broke, or some people are going to be wealthy. And I know my friends that are next to me, I know the wealthiest of people because of Bitcoin. A lot of my friends are wealthy as hell because of Bitcoin. I'm next. Wake up. Stop sleeping. Stop giving into this system that's trained us for failure, and wake up. Anyways, I'm gone too long. Peace and blessings on all you guys in your household. I love you guys. As you know, Jairus Coleman is signing out.